Alright, looks like everybody's here. Well, not everybody, but looks like we've got a starting crew, so that's good. Looks like I'm not going to be alone tonight as I plug away at the loose ends in the workshop, or specifically one big loose end, maybe two. Alrighty. Let's see, we got Peter, Pakal, Robin, DJ, Mike, Combat, Kiston, Christian, Vlodum, Mick, Yamara. Still losing my job. Loosing my job. Loose ends. Stuart, Travis, Barry, Patrick, Margarita, Soda, Andrew, Pedro. Hello, Pedro, and Harry. Kurt, too. Almost missed you. Daniel Winkle. Murshid Hassan. Alrighty. Zoltan. I'm going to have to stop saying hello to everyone now, so I'm never going to get started. Okay, so yeah, loose ends in the workshop can lead to loss of business profits because you forget about them, and then the customers get angry at you, and you immediately go over and beyond to try and resolve the situation quickly, which typically means you pay extra on freight, or you pay top dollar on something to catch up, or you're covering your mistakes and it's costing you money, and you usually don't get that back from the customer, and the customer usually isn't happy at the end of it, so it's the way it goes. Now you got your own variation of English there. Hey, g'day Wayne. Jim, welcome Jim. Good to see you here. Paulie Lewis. First thing I've got to get started is this MacBook SSD. It's partially working, but not completely working. I tried to put it into my normal recovery server, but you'd get about anything from 10 meg to 1 gig, and it would just disconnect on you, or you couldn't get it back. So we're going to have to bring in some old tools to make it do the trick, and I'm going to put it on here. Hopefully it won't kill this machine while I do it, but I have to do it on this machine or maybe another one. I can't do it on my normal recovery server because the device I'm using, which is this, it's a USB controlled USB switch. So that is to say that it's a relay switch that disconnects the power to any USB device on a typical USB-A connection. This was meant to be a USB 3, but unfortunately it I got my wiring wrong with USB 3, and I think I blew up a few things in the process, so I basically just cut all the USB 3 side of it, and now it's back to a USB 2. It just needs a bit of a wash, so I'll do that first. And what we'll do is we'll use this to switch off the solid state drive when it's failed on the data recovery, and then switch it back on. That's the theory. And we'll do that all with a custom script as well after I wash it. Just go to the overhead. Got to wash it. Can't have dirty equipment. It's got tons of cat hair on it, I think. Or just random things that have stuck to it. I don't think I've used this in a couple of years now. I had a better one that was actually designed as a USB 2 originally. It was my first incarnation, and it was the best one. This one, the USB 3 ones, I just, like I said, I kept butchering the setups. Half the problem was that I didn't have a USB 3 part in Eagle PCB, and so I had to do all the parts myself, and I must have made a mistake in the parts as well as a mistake in the routing. And anyway, so after a couple of iterations I just sort of said, stuff it, we'll have the lower transfer rate, being about 35, 40 megabyte per second, but at least we'll be able to have the data instead of blowing up things. Okay, I feel like that's a bit prettier now. I was watching a movie and it got predictable. What were you watching? This is it's the 1612 MacBook Air Pro Retina 2013 to 2015 SSD one. It's the expensive adapter one, the one that costs about $100 or so. It's not a heat-sensitive drive. It's got a fault in the controller or in one of the RAMs, and when it hits the bits, it goes and yeah, it blows itself to bits. So yeah, it's not a heat sensitive one. I have actually got a temperature controlled box for dealing with hard drives that are heat sensitive with a pelter, which basically means it's simply a household travel cooler that I've put some holes in and it does the job. Okay, so this thing here, we just use power switch. It's kind of like the one I've got in, well, it is the same as the one I have in my file server, but this one is just simply made for switching on and off USB. Okay. Oh, Mortal Engines. Yeah, I watched that the other night, and it was like, ah, gee, yep. I did end up watching it all the way through, but I probably shouldn't have. The only thing I found was that Hugo Weaving is getting to the point where it's always Hugo Weaving. You know, he's never different. He doesn't seem to be. He used to be quite dynamic in the past, but these days he just seems to be Hugo Weaving. Okay, let's see. I need to create a script for this and a place to put the data. So just shove that up there. I'm just going to put this off to the side a little bit in front of the keyboard. Perfect place to put it, so I won't knock it every 10 seconds, of course. This can just dangle off the edge of the workbench. It's not like it's a spinning hard drive or anything. Spinning hard drives you obviously have to be a lot more careful with. Okay, now I might actually be able to type. CPU. I'm just going to try and try this, that'll do. And I'll even make the font larger. Too large. Too big, take it back. Oops. Let's see. Let's see, what job was this one? Let's see, 196. 196. Wow, I typed 192 instead of 196. Someone's got problems. Do you use PC3000? No, I don't. I'm not that much into... I haven't invested that much into data recovery. I'll do what I can with the equipment I have. Anything else I just shove off to Payham or whoever charges big amounts for that sort of thing. I do not have the room for the... Yeah, I think that's what it was. Must have been the 192 thing. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to create a script. Let's see. Power switch on 1. No smoke's coming out, so that's good. Alright, so we can see it shows up. And it's showing up at SDC. Okay, now I'm going to make a script. Chances are, as this fails, it will occasionally jump to the next letter if I'm not careful, so it'll be SDD. Fortunately, we can do the recovery involving both of those. Okay, so we'll just turn it off again so we don't waste our chance. Vim recovery recover. Okay, well, do see power switch. Oh. I've got another tool for this. Wait for device. Damn it. No. Looks like I haven't got wait for device installed here. I'll have to get that from my GitHub. What? Sort of shonky coding did I do here? If clause does not guard, let's see, gvim 147. If not print serial, if print. I'm not sure if this is actually what it's complaining about. Oh yeah, I know what it's talking about. The problem that I had, actually no, it is a bit of a bug here. If you do not have the braces with an if statement, it only is applying to the next statement, and that's why you have braces to basically turn an entire block of statements into what is effectively one statement, so to speak. Anyway, so what it's complaining about here is that the flush would not be applying. So it probably still would actually, regardless of if it's a single or multiple statement, just simply so that you don't make mistakes later on. And see down here, I've got that. That's why you shouldn't have compound statements on a single line in most cases, unless it's very clear as to what you're doing. Okay, that's good. Now I gotta remember how to use this again. Buffering? Really? Refresh. Nothing coming up here. Okay, so what wait for device does is it sits around, it just waits to see if a device appears, and it was something that I wrote specifically for these sort of scenarios that we're coding for right now. So anyway, let's see, wait for device, whoops, SDC. Oh. 250. That might work. Accept 20. This is going to get a little more complicated than I expected. Okay, we'll assume maybe it sticks with SDC. Okay, wait for device. If the exit code of that. So if it successfully finds it, then we'll run our DD rescue. And And if it doesn't, we'll sleep for, I don't know, 5 seconds. Yeah. Sleep. 3, 2. Who knows? It may or may not work. Okay, let's try this again. Fingers crossed. Ah, okay. Wait for device. Verbose. I reckon. Oh, I might have to be doing this as a root user. Don't mind me as I check some other coding I've got here. Wrong machine. Is that powered on? It's not powered on. And okay, what's throwing me here is that it's exiting straight away instead of it should just poll for a bit. Just gonna drop back to a smaller font. I have like STD. See, now that's doing what I'd expect. Yeah, see, this is what it should do and poll like that. For some reason, when the power was taken away from the USB device, it didn't actually detach the USB device. This is frustrating. Alright, well, we can do it blindly. And by blindly, instead of waiting for the device, we just sleep for say 4 seconds and hope that the device is present. So here we go now. Yeah, okay, we're gonna need something a little longer than 4 seconds. This is why I have wait for device, because it lets you not have to try and guess how long it's going to take. Permission denied. Someone forgot to sudo. What? Can't open input file. What's going on now? Suicidio. Okay, what's going on here? Why can't I open up that device? Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's just try it manually. It just vanished, huh? I wonder if what's happening is that this actually does need the USB 3. That does make sense. It shouldn't actually detect the drive if that was the case. Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. The other problem could be is that I've just got simply too many USB devices on this damn thing and it's just choking. Hey Manfred. I think what's happened here is yeah, there should be enough amps for the drive. I'm pretty sure it's just the data port decided to choke and die. Let's see if I can find another spare port somewhere. Naturally, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot about all these ones down here. All these ones on the card that was very generously contributed to me. Now watch me completely destroy everything on this machine. Wow, this is going to be fun. No. Well, I must say I am rather stumped. I'm gonna have to actually put it on another machine. Let's see. Okay, give me a couple of moments. I will go and transfer it to another machine. And we'll try it there. The other machine, yeah. I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Oh. Well, I forgot that. Remember when the file server died the other week? Well, I moved it into this room here, and it is just right there, and that's where I need to plug these in. Can't believe I didn't remember that. Anyway, let's plug it into the file server. Hopefully we don't have a catastrophic consequences on the file server. No, actually this is my fault. No, I've just seen... Hey, what the... Oh, let's see, here we go. Time to log into my recovery server. To... Okay. I should really copy the passcode, the key code into this. Oh, hilarious! I've got no space. uh, Get the old cans and string working. Just like Malcolm Turnbull wanted us to do. Oh, what is all this trash? Four terabytes in there. What the hell is in that folder? It certainly wasn't those. No. Oh. Dancing kittens, at least. Yeah, definitely not adult content, that's for sure. Not on a open public's share. The only thing I'm doing here is I'm just not... Yeah, that's where it all is. It's in the backups, iPhone backups. Lots and lots of iPhone backups. That'll be it. Customers. Remove everything from 2018. Yeah. Not showing the dancing kittens. I'm actually, to be honest, it's that old. I don't know what is in it. I just remember being dancing kittens. Yeah. Hey, Vladimir. Let's get rid of everything 2019 then. Is that too much to ask? It seems it is. It's taking forever. When they tell you, can you check my photos for me to make sure they're all there? It's like you go, I really don't want to do that. Please don't ask me to do that. I will give it all to you on a USB stick, but don't ask me to look through your photos, please. It's just not, it's not on. It's actually a legal issue as well because, yeah, when you do data recovery, the most I ever will do is I'll check that the thumbnails, little thumbnails come up to show the images, and that's it. It's do not ask me to go check photos. I'll check the statistics on the photos, make sure they're full size and all that sort of stuff, make sure they're genuine JPEGs or whatever. But yeah. Okay, we have enough data now. Data space. Okay. City share. Wayne, you poor bugger. Yes, some customer photos cannot be unseen. That's usually what leads you into the policy of not wanting to inspect their photos or videos or anything like that. You get some people who are very cavalier about what they've got on there, and or they warn you and they go, "Oh, there's gonna be some stuff on there," and I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, but I don't look at that stuff." But not on your machine, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Where was I? What was that folder called? 196. That's it. Okay. Do I have I have on here. Okay. Do I have power switch on here? I do. Alrighty, we might have a chance here now. And most importantly, you should actually run screen on these. Oh, come on. Media, is it? Yeah. This is not my normal data recovery system, so all the folders are very different, yeah. Okay. Create a new thing, run dmessage in it. This power switch worked. Power switch is active. And our drive has not shown up yet. Seriously? Alright. Has the drive given up? The fact that it's stone cold says yes. Let's come back to life now. Well, I'm switching the drive on, and but it's not showing up. So it looks like we actually just wasted the last half hour doing nothing. Blast. Oh, okay. Looks like it's gone too far, so I guess it's on to the next long tail. Well, that was a long tail of no outcome. I'm very sorry about that, everybody. What a botch up. Ah. Job 196, you are out of here. Okay, why have I got that one? That's another dead one. I don't want to use another dead one. Give me a working one. This is probably dead too. Oh, that suckety sucks. Try one more time. Hey, Michael Kiram. Nope. Bugger. Alright, well, looks like I'll have to further investigate that at a later time. Right now, I do not have the gear here for it, so we'll move on to something more interesting. SSD Baboons sounds like someone who knows Tim Herman. Got to get a machine back together that time, and it's a PC laptop. I'm really not a fan of these things. Wobbly wobblies. Okay. What happened with this? What is this? Some sort of MSI, I think. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, bring the chat window down so I can actually read it. And it did have Windows on it. It died. I thought, okay, well, I'll check the. Oh no, you really did. What happened there? Yeah, definitely not a new MacBook. Crap. Alright, a little bit of buckling on there. That's not really healthy. Yeah, I'm not sure which way that goes. It's taken an impact. And the camera's dead. Brilliant! The camera should be coming up soon. I'm actually not rightly sure which way this goes. Sheet metal folding. Oh, plugs in. I think I'll live with that. Yes, the disk drive makes a considerable degree of performance improvement on pretty much all machines. We don't need that piece of wire. Vladimir, thank you for the 200 rubles. Russian rubles, I dare say. Actually, are there anything other than Russian rubles? I don't know. Oh, if you remove the... You mean the CD drive? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I would love to have fibre to the premises here, but unfortunately I dare say it probably wouldn't be legal anyway. It'd be some sort of law against me having superior service to other people. Yeah, I really don't know why you would spend $3 grand on a machine like this. It's I've never had the best impression of any of these machines. Fortunately, this one is a power. It's got a power jack here, and the cable comes in there. And the cabling actually is 3 strands of looks like 24 gauge, so that's acceptable. Unlike that meta box that we had many years ago now, that was an absolute laugh. Now the weirdo thing of this one is that the battery is installed internally. So why would you do that? Why not just, have a normal battery that can be clipped out? Can we go for a lower bit rate? I think the problem is it's not so much my average bit rate, it's just that the line drops. I mean, we can go, let's see, output. I'm not even that high, but I'll try 4500. Apply. Okay, so we're running at 45. But like I said, I have my doubts it's going to do anything. The other thing I need to be careful of is, well, I've got the sequence incorrect here. Yeah, it is an MSI, and I voided the warranty by unscrewing it. Really, once you get used to MacBooks and their metal cases, all these plastic PC things feel quite terrible. I gotta put the battery in before I put the oh my god. I guess they decided they wanted to do all the things that Apple Macs do. Okay, so we can get this right again. Okay, put the battery in, screw the battery in, put the flimsy plastic cover on, no one gets the dancing kitten video now. You can just Google for it or YouTube it. Hell, I wouldn't even remember what it is these days. There's a lot of stuff on that file server of mine, which probably is well over 10 years old now. There's plenty of stuff you look back and you go, why on earth did I even keep that? Put the flat screws in. What are your thoughts on the yeah, I have my sincerest doubts about that. 100% on all the patients that it was successful with. I think there's a lot of temptation there's a lot of desire to have a cure-all for these sort of things, but there rarely is. And more often than not, when you do propose a cure-all, you're actually probably doing more damage to patients than if you're realistic about it and say, well, we've got some pretty good options that can manage certain symptoms, and we can make a cocktail of all this so that we can keep them alive for long enough for their body to deal with it. That's the other thing, yeah, because human bodies are all so different. You're going to have different responses to these things, which means you're going to have different um, different solutions to deal with the different symptoms. I think the scariest thing perhaps of COVID is the fact that it's attacking the blood-brain barrier. It seems like a lot of people, it's obviously already been around before. But yeah, the destruction of the blood-brain barrier is a rather unusual property of this particular variation of COVID, and certainly something that needs to be looked at a little more. Makes me very thankful for the fact that I am out in the rural settings that I am, because we haven't, and in Queensland for that matter, so we have very minimal chance of catching things. And furthermore, because the roaming show group is not coming around this year, that's another significant vector for contagious diseases, and that's been stopped dead too. COVID's caused by MacBooks. Well, that's a different one. That's okay, Keith. I appreciate you trying, and I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do. Your mum has COVID? That's really not good. I mean, yeah, what is it? The mortality rate, they say, is low, which is great. But then it seems like it's more contagious. And also, we're talking about short-term mortality. We haven't got enough information yet to determine what the chronic issues are. Like you say, take something like glandular fever. Most of the time, it doesn't really beat you up too much when you have it. Many people just have a simple 24-hour not feeling so great. But with glandular fever, what happens is for years and years afterwards, you suffer things like inflammation of the liver and spleen and things like that, and it just comes and goes. So that then, of course, leads to higher risks of things like cancers and whatnot, and all because so it has a long-term higher mortality, or I should say it sort of has a reduction of lifespan because of it. So that's the sort of things you got to weigh up, whereas say like influenza just tends to come and go, and very minimal amount of chronic issues associated with it, unless of course you do catch yourself pneumonia, in which case you're going to be in strife. Anyway, I think it's more complicated than people make it out to be. I think we should be a little more respectful of this unknown entity at this point until we have further data. Yeah, glandular fever when I was 18, 26 years in Farnell. Well, that's just it. Some people are just fine. It doesn't get them. Others, myself and my wife, we had it, and we suffer for it a lot. Okay, let's see if we can get Windows going on this. So yeah, and that's the point really. Each person is different, which is why you have to have different cures or different management options for different people. There's no cure-all. As soon as you start hearing cure-all, you're probably dealing with someone who just wants your money. You got Ross River virus. Now that's a nasty bugger, yeah. Whereas, in contrast to that, I got dengue fever twice. I was fortunate, I didn't develop hemorrhaging dengue fever, but there's been no long-term issues with it either. But yeah, Ross River fever or Q fever, you're going to be in for a life of complications in most cases. So yeah, I think the problem with a lot of the debates that we see raging is people like to think it's either one thing or the other. It's black and white. It's very cut and dry. But it's not. It's very complicated. Humans are complicated. We react differently to the same stimuli. We react differently to the same pathogens. So trying to say there's a single cure for things really isn't so much the case. Oh, the stickers near the case, they do well and truly suck bollocks. Let's see if anything comes up on this. So what's the online data recovery, online OS installation option for this? You just like Alt-R or something when you boot? No Alt-R to boot? Oh, shame. What a useless system. Oh, here we go. Windows 10's booting. That's hilarious. Choose an operating system. Interesting, they've put it on volume 3, which I'm going to guess is actually the hard drive. Hey, Pro Engineer. The stickers are a major pain because over time they start catching on the corners, they get on your hand like that. It's very irritating, and if you do peel them off, often they leave, by the time you get to them, they leave a discoloured section, or if you're really unlucky, it's a bit sticky. But I guess you can always clean up the stickiness with a bit of, bit of solvent. Maybe acetone, so you can then eat through the plastic here and make it all deformed and warpy. Yeah, peel them off straight away. That's pretty much what it is. Okay. On a more serious note, would this have an online recovery option like macOS does? Because that would be awesome if it did. Otherwise, I'll just go for the straight F12, F12, F12. Checking media presence. Oh, I'd have an absolute laugh if it actually does have online recovery. That'd be awesome. It is definitely one of those features that make you come to like macOS. Now, the problem I've got here is I don't really have a spare... No online recovery, yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, well, for an online for a recovery petition, I mean, I know I can do it from the recovery petition. I was just trolling everybody. Tree oil, you mean turpentine? Here we go. Yeah, well, I was expecting... The thing is, I don't know what they've done with the recovery petition. The other thing I don't like about recovery petitions is that when you do it, it installs all the same crap that's on there in the first place. Okay, troubleshoot. Reset this PC. Let's do it. Remove everything. What a pagan. Let's see. Only the driveway windows installed. Just remove my files. Thing is it going to tell me which drive I want to put it on? Or ask me even. While that's doing that, I'm going to go downstairs and get my Windows 10 stick. Because I don't trust this one. Are you two have you done kids? I'm assuming Milo's bugging somewhere. Okay. Got essential food elements. I'm just going to use my Windows 10 stick, because the trouble with all of these systems is that they're laden with so much crap, factory crap, that you spend half an hour getting rid of it. So we'll try something better. Except I don't know which key is the boot option key, so we're just going to press all keys for a great win. No. Which key is the boot key for MSI? F12 is it? No. Let's see. Control T, MSI, laptop, boot, boot key. F11. Ding 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 ding. It says F11 on Google. Google's right. F11 it is. You are all wrong. No one said F11. Fun half hour, yeah. Die McAfee, die Skype, die Microsoft Store. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, Travis, a little late to the party there, and trying to pretend that lag saved you there. Language to install. Oh, time and currency format. Give me English. What? Give me Australian, mate. I don't want no Yankee, Aussie talk. Give me straight up Australian. Travis is just claiming that ping lag is his problem. Custom. Whoa, okay. So we've got... Well, it must be drive drive 0 that we want. It's a 250 gig. How they got this split? 300 meg, 300 meg. Is it seriously only 120 gig drive? That's lame. Format. Okay. Wizcock, it's I run Ubuntu, but then I run Fluxbox as my window manager, and that's why it throws everybody off. Yeah, let's delete that. Yeah. And delete that. Unallocated space, we'll delete this too. Windows recovery tool, we'll delete that. Because I'm going all out and crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, now we can go next. And it will do it itself. Should try and install, yeah. I mean, I could run GNOME desktop or XFCE desktop or, yeah, one of the window managers. One of the, sorry, desktop managers. There's no shortage of them, but in the end I always just seem to come back to Fluxbox. Okay, let's eat some delicious dark chocolate tortina biscuit and wafer. Yeah, I saw Lewis didn't have a good time with that Pine phone. It's not a wagon wheel, you know, Mara. It's a fancy pants foreign wagon wheel. Hey Andrew, Micro's doing well, thanks. His insulin shots not giving him any grief. And we now have the insulin in the cooler oven, of course. He gets that twice a day. He gets 2 units, and it seems to be working well for him. Yeah, I'll show you the wrapper once I'm done with it. Hmm. Dark hazelnut. They're pretty yummy. They're light. Not as toxic as a wagon wheel. Snail or wagon wheel. Yeah, snails actually aren't that bad. I do miss having them over from South Africa. It used to be a fairly common thing we'd eat for lunch or something like that. And they have escargots and garlic butter and bread. Death cookie? Hurtful. Hey Richard. Where's the Vegemite? Okay, restart now. What is it? Trulicity is my weekly diabetes injection. I don't know what that is yet. Wagon wheels, liberally lubricated. Oh, you disgusting man, Vladimir. Vegemite has very limited uses. It must be moderately thinly spread upon hot toast that has been hit with butter as well. And the butter has to be half melted, half solid. And then you've got to mix the Vegemite over that. And then that tastes great. Do not apply Vegemite like peanut butter. You'll die. Just consider Vegemite to be like salt. Hey, Blackhood. It's evening, 11 o'clock in the evening. 11 p.m., 2300 hours. Sending Pedro 1502 top case. I could pay for the shipping and all, but they said no transports were going to Australia. Oh, hell. That'll explain a lot of the trouble I'm having at the moment. I have some good customers who are waiting on 1708 decks, keyboard decks, and I cannot get them into Australia. And it's driving them insane because their customers are driving them insane, and there's just nothing I can do. And I've tried couriers, and as opposed to just standard post, and same thing. Yeah, Andrew, one of our cats likes Vegemite as well. Yes. Are you at? Yes, I am at my office. My office is. I have a home office, as it were. This building has quite a number of rooms and quite a fair bit of area, so we only live in a small portion of it, and the rest can be used for business. Hey, Mark. Talking to Vegemite, your Marmite car, good, right, yes. So far you have a Jack of the Black stuff, Marmite Chris Cash. Oh. And how about you just be quiet? Thank you. Use voice. I'm not going to use voice. What am I supposed to do? Go, hello, computer. Computer, hello. I just have to get my voice and tone correct. Okay. Do not connect to the internet. Continue with limited setup. Nice try, Windows. Nice try, Microsoft. How many 1708s? I need 2 silver US ones. and I need them with, preferably with all the small parts attached, like, or at least one of them I need the headphone jack attached into it. Hey Tariq Mahmood, if the word dot pay, oh Clippy's awesome. It's kind of scary to think that's from like 1997. Ah, see, Robin was just saying what I was already doing, denying this computer a chance to ruin its life. For now, we'll just call it gamer. Hey, why no keyboard? Come here. Gamer. Game board. 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 Game. Game. Board. Game board. Let's see how many IT crowd people are out there. Next thing you know, I'm going to be ordering pizza with pineapple. Okay, accept. No, thank you. Not now. Why do encryption programs always encrypt the recovery petition as well? Yeah, I guess they have their reasons. Probably because they keep the key in there. Ew, Oracle. Banana, pineapple, and curry. You know, you're trying to sound disgusting there, but I can actually already envisage in my brain that it can work. Yeah. Nice try. Nice try. Remember, I eat bacon and banana pizza, and I was eating avocado and chicken pizza before people realized it was tasty too. Back in the the late 90s. Well, superiority of an OS really depends on what you use it for, doesn't it now? I mean, for my recreational laptop, I have a MacBook 1502 where I just want to be able to watch my YouTube, do my media stuff and things like that, and I leave it with macOS. Conversely, my main workstation, my administration programming station, is a iMac 27-inch, but I put Ubuntu on it. And most of my technical machines are all Ubuntu. Right, so that's it. We're alive. Let's see. This PC, 94 gigs free. We left the data drive alone. Thank goodness for that. What have they got in here? Battle.net, Fortnite, Riot Games, Steam. They're probably going to be happy that I left that there, but I'll let them format that if they want to. Okay. I think that is now done. We can connect the internet now, and we will do 1 billion updates. Password 12345678. Backup 1 2. No thanks. Please leave one. Bunny, I do not do donations to people who ask like that. Sorry. First key to getting donations is to know how to create a scenario or create a community that is feeling like giving rather than asking. I mean, to be fair, you can only be said no if you ask, but chances are if you want a higher success rate, then there are other ways of going about it. Not that I'm one to talk. I consider myself a bit of a Steve Martin in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, I'm afraid, as much as I wish I was the other chap. Resume updates, I believe. You're gonna go outside my internet. Oh, feel free. Feel free. I've got unlimited. Holy schmoly, there's a few updates there. Michael Caine, thank you very much, yes. Yes, in a world of scammers, we all want to be Michael Caine's, but sadly, a lot of us seem to end up our talent being Steve Martin. So, whenever I've got a fork, I make sure I put a cork on it. Yeah, I noticed he asked more than once tonight. That's why I sort of ignored it the first couple of times, but when he kept persisting, it was like, right, you don't know how to play this game. Please, sir, don't donate me your pile of worthless. Oh, yeah, sorry, Pen. Obviously, now there's a person I need to actually um, get stuff off to. Yes, the eye patch as well. And sit hunched over the table and then go, can I please go to the bathroom? Or can I go to the bathroom, please? And you're like, yeah, yep, that's a good movie. So prefer macOS for recreational purposes. Generally, yeah. It seems to work well. I shut the lid, it suspends itself. I lift the lid, it works as it was before. I try that with Ubuntu or Windows, and usually something goes wrong 8 times out of 10. Is that 1909 Win 10? Probably. I don't think I've updated the stick for a while. Let's have a look. Settings. System. Actually, I'll be honest, I'm not sure where I'll find that. Home. The thing I don't understand is how Ubuntu differs for you instead of Windows for your professional. I'm a programmer, so I do a lot of Unix C stuff. A lot of the programming I do is to deal with devices that aren't directly handled by many systems. So, like if I'm trying to create devices, then I just find Linux tends to be a little more friendly from a developer perspective, particularly when you're dealing with firmware and external devices, things like that. Linux really needs to sort the video acceleration. Oh, I mean, when it comes to Linux devices, I will basically try to also always make sure that I'm only relying on an Intel graphics chip. Uh, Even, what is it, 25, 30 years on, well, let's say 20 years on, make it 15. They can't seem to do graphics drivers at all well. It just, everything always goes wrong with the graphics drivers. Restart now. Stockholm's Razor, what? Oh, wait, you're talking to Pedro. Well, I'm more of a shell person, a bash person. In the end, though, most of the time the OS is just a tool, so if you learn how to use a particular tool, so long as it reasonably fits the task that you're trying to apply it to, then what does it matter which one you use? And as it is, all three major user operating systems, let's say macOS, Windows, and Linux, they're all sort of converging towards each other anyway. And you have macOS and Linux being Unix based, even though Linux is not technically a Unix, at least not legally. I'm sure sooner or later we'll find out that Microsoft is running either a Linux or a BSD core somewhere. Windows 10 Update Assistant, yes. So you do low-level programming? Yes. Well, I mean, it depends what you mean by low-level programming. When you're talking about assembly on CPUs, I don't do any of that with the Intel type things, but I do a lot of microcontroller programming. Wow, this restart's taken a while. So what have we got here? Aluminium alloy chassis. Yeah, they've got a outline here of, you can't really see it, the outline of the aircraft here. It looks like I'd say it's an F-111. could be a tornado, but I'm pretty sure it's an F111. It's got that swing wing. The F111 was just a little more graceful in its appearance than the tornado. Tornadoes are, I suppose some could say, it's a more an aggressive look. Pick or Atmel? Atmel myself. I did try Pix originally, but I found I couldn't really get with it. But the Atmel, I fell right into place with the Atmel AVR Harvard system. It's a bit like with Perl versus C or Perl versus PHP. I tried really hard to learn Perl, and my brain just kept telling me no, no, no. But then I encountered PHP, and it was like, we're on for PHP. So I guess I'm sort of one of the destroyers of the internet because of that. Oh, Travis, yeah, that's it. Time for Travis to get timed out for that Arduino comment. What was the issue? Basically, they somehow couldn't get Windows to install on it, but it seems to be doing alright here, other than the fact that it's not restarting at the moment. And we're going to have a bit of a clip noise now. There we go. Cheap, nasty plastic chassis that don't clip together properly. Yeah, this is taking forever. I'm just going to put this off to the side and we can get on to a MacBook finally. Arduino is a programming layer that sits on top of microcontrollers, or just anything really. So consider Arduino to be the Java of the microcontroller world, perhaps. Which expresses my disdain of it, as well as my disdain to Java too. Yeah, that thing's taking forever to restart. Maybe there's a problem with the SSD on that after all. The symbol is a knockoff of the United Federation's logo, Star Trek. You mean like Space Force? I mean, if you got plenty of microcontroller power and stuff like that, fine, go knock yourself out with Arduino. But more often than not, I found it's just as easy to code with straight C on AVRs. And it's very quick, very compact. Okay, where's my next machine to give me a hard time? Where are you? Okay, you need... No. Ah, there you are. Okay, we need a new container for you. And we need to put a sticker elsewhere. Damn it. The sticker came off half. Oh well. C'est la vie. Wow. What happened there? Alright, seems we are not getting our information through here. Is the mouse giving up on me now? Oh, that's just weird. No. Stand by for technical difficulties. Trying to find a window that contains some information I need. File quit. Weird. It's the scanner is working. Let's try again. Got the data? There's no data. Alright, for some reason there appears to be no data. Try now. Seriously. Weird. The data's there in the file, but I think actually I can just see the data. Job data. Whoa, that's totally not. No, I'm going to leave that alone as I'm going to cause grief myself here. That thing's still restarting. I think there's a problem with that machine on its 128 gig internal NVMe drive. It shouldn't be taking that long to restart. Okay, so we've got, what are you, a 1708? You're a 1708. And it has graphics display issue, artifact display, an external monitor display, and the monitor, so I assume some problem with the graphics. Oh, jeez. Okay, this could be a short one. Hey.
I didn't realise you were
No, you're right.
Actually, you know that all the babies are accounted.
Okay, good. Okay.
I just fed them and
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
So everyone,
Mhm.
so Mia and Lulu are sleeping, but the others are all eating.
Yeah, alright then. Alright, that was just me getting important updates on the status of the fur kids. Hey, NE555. Toastake. Interesting. Interesting name, but that, I mean. Yeah, let's get this thing open. Having artifacts on both internal and external, so we've probably got maybe RAM failure, VRAM failure, or GPU failure. But I'll take a look just to have a see if there's anything. Yeah, maybe there's some junk on. No, I don't know. I can't think of a damn good reason, to be honest. Oh, she's been busy with other things, Travis. And she's scooted off. Okay, stick your thingy in there, lift it up, spin it around. Do not spin it around if you do not have something on the workbench to protect it from getting scratched up. If you spin it around when it doesn't have that and you get all scratched up, do not blame me. It's your own fault. Just realize it's panned back a bit far there. There we go. Turntables working on stereo. That actually is a good idea, Richard, yes. A lazy Susan, perhaps. Wrong. Wrong. Maybe a leader can fix a MacBook. I don't think she would. I think she'd be sooner more interested in saving some kitties. I mean, I know there can be some overlaps with couples and their stuff, but that is not one of our overlaps. Okay, we need T4 or T3 down here. And Mark's going to be going, where the heck's this set of drivers I gave you? And it's like, yeah, they're up there. Okay, what's going on? Something's gone on. Someone's chewed away at this already. Oh, sweet mercy. Thank you very much for chewing that out. Bravo. Bravo indeed. This is why you need the right tools for the job. Ah, damn. No, I shouldn't be too critical. It could, with such a small screw like that, you probably wouldn't feel it much. But did you? Oh no! Did they put the long in the short? Please do not. No, thank goodness they didn't. I was worried there for a split second that they put the long screws, which belong on the retainer bracket, into the short. I was fairly sure they wouldn't have, but anyway. Thank goodness for that. So I'd say someone tried to get into that and they didn't have much luck, so we can try the old push down. That's not working. I'll try for T5, even though I don't recommend that. Push down, and no, that's just peeling off, so we're going to have to use the professional tool. Yeah, the right, let's see if I move the right direction. No, can't see them. They're here. That's what I'm actually waiting for, is when I get into my new workshop, and then I can set up a nice holder for them. Okay. Bite and turn. You gotta find that delicate balance between biting enough that you can get it to turn and not biting so much, else you nip the head clean off, and then when the clip is sharp, it probably causes you to catch something else in the process and truly destroy the machine. Okay, so that is a dead screw. We leave that out. No point having that anymore. Do more damage than good. Connector looks okay. Elastic band to unscrew that screw. I would be very surprised if you can get an elastic band to sit on that. Oh, do you mean put it on the head and then push down on it? I'm guessing that's what you mean. Gives it a little more bite. Hey, James Ewing. Come on. Come on. There we go. Right, someone was offering me some 1708 silver tops. Do they want to email me, please, if they have them in Australia? Price and availability. Silver. Right. I mean, using cutting wheel to get at them. What? Oh, cutting wheel. Whew. I suppose you can put a flathead into that. I have a very strong feeling that we're not going to see anything overly visual as a fault, so, but at least we can just confirm it one way or another. Hey Jessica. Yes, the delicious sound of mechanical, semi-mechanical keyboard. I don't consider cherry switches to be worthy of true mechanical status, but you know, that's debatable. I suppose they are truly mechanical, but I still prefer my buckling springs. Yeah, to cut a slot. I've got a video that I need to subtitle and put some background noise onto of me destroying an iPhone 7 that had a bad had a bad TriStar, but the trouble is the TriStar was underfilled, and so that was a glorious couple of hours in my life. I am pleased to say the patient did live, but probably will walk with a limp, or when you listen to it, will have a limp in one ear. But it was successful. Okay, looking there, can't see anything obvious. I'm trying to replace these keyboards. I've never tried one. It's about $100 and something just to get the keyboard itself. It sounds like it's not a good deal to me. It sounds like I'm probably going to regret it. Oh, that machine did reboot, by the way. Took its sweet time. Way too long. Will L-shaped MagSafes fit into 1237? 1237? Not sure what a 1237 is, actually. We've got some damage on the MagSafe. Not the MagSafe, the USB-C, but it's not really the sort of thing I'd expect to be affecting the screen. They do have that keyboard, yes. I can get the keyboard, that's not the problem. I want the deck, and I want it in Australia, and I don't want it to be $500, because I can get them from China for $240, and that I consider to be a reasonable fee. You know, I'm happy to pay that. Hell, I'll even pay $280, $290, but not $500. That's just, or $400 or whatever it is. It's just a little bit too out there. Yeah, so we've got the usual sort of liquid trash on that, but again, that should not be affecting the display. I haven't bothered taking the drive out of this yet. Yeah, as expected, there's no real visual damage. So what we're dealing with here is pretty much a no fix. Unfortunately. So I'll plug it in, have a look on the screen, see what it looks like. I can pretty much guess what it's going to be like already. I'll just get my USB-C adapter board. Oh, where's my proper one? That's the cheap and nasty version. Not sure if that one will even work. I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'll try the slightly slimmer version. Did you post the video, the Switch video yet? Switch video? Switch? What Switch video? I can't remember. What Switch are you talking about? Okay. That's interesting. This thing is on, but it's not. Okay, that's booting. 20 volts. Yeah, okay, so that's booting. That's fine. Oh, the tenor. Did I not post that? No, I did do that. That was... No, you're right, I didn't. Ha! Forgot I've got that one as well. Sorry. It's very easy for you to get an accumulation of boards and jobs that you don't ever put up. I think I've probably got a good 100 or so repair jobs I've never put up. Sometimes because you forget the audio, sometimes because it just doesn't work out that way. There's always a whole bunch of reasons. Okay, we'll try this one. I'm just experimenting to see... Well, that's not going to be any good at all now. Okay, we'll do this one then. I've got this USB-C power meter and I want to see what it's like compared to my previous one. Read your emails. Might suit you for the 1708. Okay. We had Jim's trusty screen. Switch to HDMI. Oh, the power supply is posting some interesting trash there. I'll worry about that another day. Well, certainly the information's more interesting on this little one. Cat food. Okay, looks like we've got a boot. Oh, and it's saying low battery. What a pain. I don't know. It's either a... Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't bother trying to say what it is. 129 quid. That doesn't look like a 1708. Does it? Is it? Wow. For some reason that didn't look like a 1708 to me. Ah, but it's UK, isn't it? Oh no, it's US. Alright, thanks for that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, too small to read on camera, but works for me. Got a nose that's trying to... 5 available. I'm just looking at those. Oh, nice. Yes. I should probably take the plunge and get 2 of those. Hopefully they can damn well ship them in a hurry. It is booting, but it's not giving me... It's not booting. It just tells me it needs a battery and then shuts down. Even though that is too small for you all to read, it is actually easier for me to read. There's a little bit too much data on it. I'm not sure what the buttons do. Let's try and see what blows up. Okay, that settings, no. Triggers, no. Detection, no. I was hoping it would have a mode where it just simply shows the voltage and the current, nothing else. Right now it's only showing 66. That's a little weird. Try again. Mark, what sort of time frame would you be looking at for that? Because I'm fine to just go ahead and get them shipped straight. Faster shipping I can without being too expensive, but that would be a lifesaver for me because the customer's pretty close to like, yeah, slicing me. And I don't blame him. It's been a couple of months now I've been trying to get these things, and I've got 2 orders pending from China, one from, yeah, it's just driving me insane. This thing just keeps shutting back down. Okay. I'm going to put it back in the chassis and see if I can get an idea of what these artifacts are. But unfortunately, it is most likely that I'm not going to be able to do anything with this one because there is nothing visually faulty on there. The very worst thing that's on here is the USB-C connector, and that's not even that bad compared to what you do get to see at times. Yeah, well, that's the thing I don't understand with China, because they've got the Rona under control, or at least they say they have. And so I'd say it's somewhere in between the two. And they were shipping. I've been getting some donor boards and things like that in. Then all of a sudden it just stopped. And all of my tracking just stopped. It all just says, nothing. It's been withdrawn, or no updates, or waiting, pending. It's quite... it's almost like China's decided, stuff the lot of ears. We'll wait for you all to die. And when the dust has settled, the corpse have sufficiently rotted, will come and take everything. Smart, aren't they? Crafty. Anyway, I'm not going to start conspiracy theories because I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Except for the ones I do believe in, which aren't conspiracy theories. 5-day ships and arrive, same screwdrivers. Okay, Mark. Well, Mark, if email me and I'll transfer the money. Because, yeah, I need those. I need those bad, man. And then at least I can say to my client, I say, look, I know it's going to be a pain that you're going to have to wait another 2 weeks, but at least we actually do have them coming. Well, you got my email, so, yeah. Just let me know and I'll fix up the balance. Well, if you do work on these machines and you have a situation where the battery is just not playing along and you can't for the life of you work out why, you try a new battery, you've replaced the ISL, you've even changed the, just everything around and it's still not coming good, try and replace this little flex here. I've noticed they have a problem with getting fatigued at the elbow here. And it's not much, but it's enough to cause the battery to just not charge or not appear and things like that. So get yourself a couple of them and have it as one of your test items if you can't get the battery to up and run. Hey Steve K. Mark, I'll tell you what, I'll have a look when I finish up this stream, but it certainly looks like it. US silver 1708. It looks like it's got all the right parts there, so tentatively, yeah. And when I'm finished with this, which shouldn't be too long because this looks like it's just going to be a case of we got graphic artifacts, we can't do anything about it. Right. Let's throw in a privacy filter of some sort. Just there. I will say with this, I just realised I need to switch back to my screen. with this little adapter, the nice thing is that the connection is a lot better, a lot sturdier than what I'm getting out of this. Whoa, yay, check that. That is... No, that's a display fault. That's display fault, that one. Yeah, I recognize that. That is... Just trying to think. I don't know if that's internal or external on the display though. But to me, that's display. Do I have a spare display for this? I know I've got some 1708s, but I don't know if I've got... Well, I've got gunmetal one, so maybe that will work. But yeah, when you get that uncontrolled bloom, it's usually the LCD drive is faulty. It's not oscillating positive negative properly. At least usually. Could be wrong. But yeah, that's the first thing that struck me. That definitely looks like a display. What gets me though is that surely that's not coming up on the external. No, this display is fire trucked as well. This one's being cremated in ways that I cannot describe. Hey, Werner Lemon. Oh wow, and that got burnt too. This is a very badly destroyed 1708. The display connector got blown out. Looks like the keyboard connector got melted. Everything just went wrong. I think this is a lightning strike, this one. Yeah, completely melted the hell out of that. Melted that. Amazingly, this one didn't die, but everything else is just melted and destroyed. This board really just needs to go into the donor pile, actually. Although it's probably not a good idea to take any parts from that one. You see that sort of behavior on iPhone screens. If you don't get the connector down properly, or if you've... yeah. So just going to push it down, see, maybe you've got a flex issue. Hey, hi. There's not much point putting that up, it's blurry as heck anyway. Yeah, partial, and then see this edge blooming effect? It means the screen's not being driven correctly. So I would say it's a display issue. But this band in the middle is what confuses me. HSIE, is that? Oh no, HISE is what I'm thinking of, that how it should have ended. It doesn't seem to be flex related because it's... Oh wait, yeah, there's a bit of pushy push there. Okay, let's all not get psychedelic tripping out here. Yeah, that was trippy. I'll plug in an external display and see what happens now. There's no way that is happening on the external, but there could be an additional fault on the external. Does it get better if you press the back edge of the bottom display? I tried pressing around there and it did seem to change the behavior, so that's possible. Flexgate, it didn't seem to be. Flexgate usually results in it blanking out. Not always, but mostly. Okay, I'm just going to switch to the HDMI. and power it back up. Come on, power up. Come back to me. What's going on here now? No, it just did. It spun the fan and then stopped. Spinning the fan. No signal. Let's see if anything comes up external. Bad LCD column driver chip solder bridge. Possibly. That at least explains the banding, but the actual this fringe behavior. Why is it telling me that battery thing? This fringe behavior. That's because the display is not being driven correctly. The actual LCD itself. You're supposed to sort of like go positive, negative, to stop the cells from stagnating like that. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this now. Did you get your fence done? Not yet. I only got the corner post in tonight, actually. Yeah, it's pretty lousy on my behalf. Oh, someone just messaged me. Probably tell me that I don't know what I'm doing, which would be probably pretty correct. BMW is now live. Today's topic, reclaim the future. It's time to rethink plastic. Maybe. I do love my BMWs even though I don't have one. I used to, don't now. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here, why it's doing this. Okay, Mark, yeah, definitely two of them. Okay, pull this. Might help if I... Sorry, everything's kind of off desk at the moment. Sorry, it's just the nature of the way the cabling's set up. Didn't say hello Sunday. Gosh, Emma, I did not see that. I'm sorry. Were you saying you're talking about what? Sune. Didn't say hello to Sune. Very difficult to actually keep track of chat. Even with a fairly low rate of chat that we have here, it is surprisingly difficult to keep track of it. Personally, I don't know how people like Lewis Rossman can keep up with the rate that they... when he gets like 1,000 people in his stream, it's just ludicrous. You see maybe 1 in 50 or 60 messages if you're lucky. Wow, someone's really pumping my phone. Well, I'm sorry she didn't get to hear me say that. I do apologise, but yeah, I genuinely did not see that. Spammers, Jack Ryan, I suppose it depends what kind of aluminium they're talking about, given that there's no shortage of alloys. Lewis is a robot. Is that true? Yes. What's that, Warren Stamps? You talking about the 1708 top decks or something else? Sorry. I can't even keep track of the people that I actually am actively trying to keep track of. I don't know why it's not giving me external signal. Okay, I guess the easiest thing in this case, since it's maybe it wants to go to the OS, we'll disconnect the battery. That flex doesn't actually feel like it's going in properly. And then we'll disconnect the screen, and then we'll plug the battery back in. And hopefully that will allow us to see what it's trying to put out on screen and actually boot. Come on. Man. Would help if I... There we go. There's a bit of a kink in that one. You're welcome, Gosh. Sorry I didn't see it before, but yeah, like I said, the nature of this medium is that it's very hard to keep track of these things. It's why it's very convenient to have a person who can be on the side monitoring the chat, and then they can call you in and say, hey, look, you know, you got a certain message here. This thing keeps giving me battery error now. Why don't you boot, little computer? No, well, leaving the battery unplugged causes this problem. So it's charging at 2 amps, so it must see the battery. We'll give it a minute or two and see what happens. What macOS do you... High Sierra? Yeah. Can you plug in the power directly? Yeah, I probably can, and then just use the... Yeah, it's just weird. It's out there. There. And that works, it boots. That's weird. Maybe it doesn't like this device. Maybe there's something wrong with this. Okay, it's booting. I am not seeing any artifacts on screen. We'll let it boot all the way, and then I'll spin the camera around. You can have a look. Which might be a little bit tricky because... Oh wait, no, I just did see something. The Apple logo was boxed in green. I have seen that before though on this model. Yeah, High Sierra is kind of like a nice bridging OS. Track words. It was like the Apple logo, and then it had a box all the way around. Yeah, just a perfectly perfect fit box, like minimum crop, and then green in all the background area. I wonder if I know the password to this one. What job's in this? 189. Passcode none. Brilliant. Definitely the display is botched. That much I think is close to obvious. And I've got perfect screen here, but I can't log in, so I can't test. Let's see, maybe I can boot to another... Where's my boot drive? So we're gonna try and boot. So shut down. This is where this sort of stuff gets fun. You start ending up with these octopus contraption setups. So, boot. Well, I should say power. Power. Hold down the option key. Fun thing is I cannot see what I'm actually broadcasting right now. Hey Winfield, welcome. Ah, Paul Edwards, g'day. You're right, it has been quite a while since you've popped around. 1708 has bad issue with the flex cables, too tight. Are you talking about the one that goes from the main board to the screen? Or are you talking about the two screen internal cables? Or whatever they are. Maybe they're not even to the screen. Or whatever. I'll see if I've got a spare cable somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have bought one. Okay, it's booting now. It's and let me just, what's going on with this machine down here? It wants me to restart. I'm just going to let this thing run through the night. Update and restart. Put it on the midnight train and send it to anywhere. What am I after? Oh, right, yeah, that display flex. It is booting now. Okay, where's this display flex that I've got? Do I have it? Yep, I got a display flex in here. Although this might be the chromated one. 840 board. Ah, you're the chromated one. I'm fairly sure I did buy a spare because I figured at some point I'm gonna need one. But you can bet your boots that I will not be able to find it. Unless it's in one of my other MacBook containers. Again, this is where having the new workshop be very handy. I'll be able to have proper compartments and areas for different types of spare parts that I have, rather than this rather unfortunate hodgepodge scenario that I'm dealing with right now. There's only sort of so much you can jam into a room, and I do try to put everything in containers, as everybody has seen, but there are limits. Screen comes up perfect. I think, we just got either a bad flex or a bad screen, so we'll have a look. Let me see if I can show on my phone instead. Take a photo. This is going to be funny that I'm showing a photo on a screen of which one have I got? The upper right or the no. I don't know, tell me. Anyway, I don't know if that's going to be visible or not, but you can see it's displaying the normal boot that I have. I need like a mirror or something. Let's see. And I'll run, what do you call it, Valley. Put a spare one, very secure place. Yep, that will be it. Run. Yep, that's Valley starting up. And we're running at 60 frames per second, so no troubles there. Let's see if we get any heat coming out of it. Now the MSI has managed to reboot again without dying. I don't know why it was taking so long to do the restart with the previous time. I mean, that was what, good 15 minutes before it came good. Check for updates. Okay, let me check for MacBook parts. No. Oh, my liver can't handle me bending over like this. Good thing I'm not in a prison. Here we go. I found my container of things that I need to keep protected. Things that were once forgotten. Things that should be found again. So these are all usually little parts. other 1708 options? Anything viable? I'll be with you shortly. Like I said, 99% sure I did have a spare flex, because it's the sort of thing that I know does occasionally, have trouble. It blows up or something goes wrong with it. And so yeah, you keep a spare. But it would seem that at this point in time, I'm not blessed enough to know where it is. Yeah, it's doing fine running Valley. It's having a jolly good old day. So I can do this all day. Do not lose that screw. Hey Jack Ryan, you're out of here, are you? Was that a look? Yes, it was Stockholm's, yeah. Good to see people are on the mark there. Yep. That movie's getting old now. It's almost time for a remake. See you, Jim. Oh wait, no. Sorry, Jim. Because I'm often called Jack. When people say, see ya, Jack, I think they're talking about me. Okay, I'm just shutting down. We're going to replace the flex, see what happens, okay? Ouch. Well, using your little TV, Jim. Okay. I'm going to disassemble all this again. As always, the philosophy of having a known good working chassis and parts applies. It's why I can't throw out things like my really good, well not throw out, but it's why I can't sell things like my 1398 and stuff like that, because it's like, the moment I do that, there's going to be a person coming in saying, I need you to check this for me, and I'll be like, alright, I just need to get my 1398 chassis that I owed you, I sold it last week. Okay, why are you being difficult to come off? Because that's just the way the universe likes to play its games. So you end up with a good dozen or two MacBooks in your workshop when you find yourself on hard financial times now and then, and you think, I could just sell off all this stuff. I'll make a fortune. I'll be rich. Well, you will be for a very short amount of time, and then you'll regret it. T4, Paul. T4. This is theirs. Make sure I get them swapped up. I'll have a look at that connector under the microscope as well, just in case there is actually some sort of cracking around the base of it or something like that. Let's go in for the super zoom. I've got to get my financials sorted out. I've got the money, but I've got to write all the paperwork just to get it sorted out by the bank. It's a bit silly of me. And of course, at the moment, every time I make a step towards that, things happen like, I've got to quickly build another enclosure, or, I've got to fix up some computers in a hurry. There's always something jumping in the way, stopping me getting there where I need to get to. The upside, at least, is that during that process, the savings are still building up. So I suppose I should be thankful for that. Okay, it's clipped in. Arnold G. Let's hope you don't, eh? Let's hope you don't. And because also, even if you get through it just fine, you do wonder in the back of your mind, how many people did I pass this on to? And if anyone should happen to die within your social circle, you kind of wonder, like, ooh, was that my fault? I'm not a bot, I am okay. Oh, alright, okay. Oh, where's trapped this damn cable under here? Every time. I'll be very happy if this is just a cable. It'll go a long way towards making my day feel nicer. Come on, get in. People are saying it's not essential, don't worry about it. It's like, actually, I think this one is the keyboard. Hey Pedro, have a good sleep. You thieving bastard. Hey Azio. Yeah, you go and smile like that, Pedro. You smile like that. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we're up and running. Fan's spinning. Just plug in some power anyway, just to... Nope, same thing. Okay, so it's a dead screen. Very dead screen. Just gonna push around, see if I can upset it at all. No. Yep. So you can find that mouse pointer. Interesting, the mouse pointer's stopped. It's not a good sign. Okay. No good. AK-70. Wife's niece and husband had it. She had mild symptoms. He didn't. I think at this point, we're going to say it's the screen. It certainly behaves like it's a bad screen more than it does a cable. Cable faults tend to manifest in a slightly different way when it comes to LCD panels. K1770, just ask, don't need to ask, but thank you for asking to ask, but no need to ask to ask. Hey, Yosef. Oh, cranky, come on. Yeah, what's holding you back? I'm pretty sure it's just a bad screen. We call it 99% certainty. The only trouble is I don't really have a viable option for a test screen for a 1708, I don't think. Or maybe I do actually. Someone shipped me a screen. I don't know if it's a 1708 or not, or something else. And I just remember grabbing it and saying, I'll take that, and I don't recall what it was that I told them to send me. It was a fractured screen, but it was still operated. You know how you can sort of get some that are just a bit dud. Just a little bit dud. Not you. You're... Not you. I had it in a box. Please don't tell me I've taken it out of the box. No, you're a 1502. Yep, you're a 1502. Yes, there are schematics for these 1708s. Okay, don't mind me while I just step off the edge for a little bit here, trying to find this screen that I bought, thinking I'm gonna need one of these screens one day. And now, where it might be the day that I need it, the screen says, "Tough luck, buddy. You didn't love me soon enough. I'm out of here." Come on now. Surely we're not playing this game. Ow, no, we're throwing the microphone around game instead. Well, this is very disappointing indeed. And if it is one of the screens like a 1708, they're very distinct compared to, say, the 15, 14, 13 series because of the fact that the connector's completely different. Alright, this is gonna tick me right off. Bigger workshop can't come soon enough. Aha. With great threats come possible wins, and it is indeed, it seems, the 1708. Oh. Aha, it was sent by Jesse Cruz. Looks like Jesse saved the day, sort of, kind of. I'm just glad that when I saw it up for grabs, I grabbed it. You don't normally see partially busted screens up for grabs very often, because most people do understand the value of them. Yeah, most techs. Hey, Penov. Thank you, everybody, for attending to that query. Which way do you install these? Let's see. Silver block to the right, so it actually is this way. Kind of curious, can you actually install these things incorrectly? I imagine so. Yeah, that makes sense, because when you pull apart a MacBook, when you take the bottom plate off, this is what you see. And so yeah, that's a match. Okay, let's go. See if we get anything up on display. Even if we just get a battery without it doing that whole thingamajig it was doing before. Okay, so it's display at fault. Alright, that solves that. Thank you, Jess Cruz, for sending me that screen. I know I did buy it, but still, thank you for putting it up for sale so that I could get it, because that just made the diagnosis for me. And with that, I think I'll call it an evening. Yeah, it's half past. Yep, so we'll call it an evening, and we'll be able to quote the customer at least and say, it seems like it is only the display. I'm not sure why they thought the external was faulty. Maybe because it did come up with that green background on the Apple logo, because that is something you often do see on older machines, that green popping up out of nowhere, and it typically is from bad GPU RAM or something like that. Alrighty then. What's this? Screen def... Well, yeah, I mean, the screen defect was obvious, but you like to be able to 100% confirm these things, and also just to be sure that there wasn't a secondary defect sitting underneath the screen defect. So it would really suck if you get the customer to pay the $400 or $500 for a new display, you put the new display on, and then you find that there's another defect sitting underneath it that is actually in the GPU or something like that, or maybe somewhere else in the electronics going to the built-in display. So yeah, you're right. As soon as you look at that screen, it was like, yeah, okay, this is probably a dead screen. But it is good to 100% confirm it. Okay, well, you don't want egg on your face. That's exactly right, Greg. Thank you. Okay, well that's it. I am out of here, so yeah, definitely need to get some sleep. Thank you everyone for dropping in. I will have small videos of the progress of the enclosure, and I'll assemble them together with a bit of a voiceover. It's not going to be overly interesting, maybe 5-6 minutes worth, but tomorrow I'll be out there with the cement mixer and the tamping pole and getting all hot and sweaty in ways that is not a turn on to people. And I'll keep you up to date with how things go. And until the next time, I'll see you all later. You all take care.